Hi, Laura J. Here to say that on Thursday, October 31st at 8 till 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be leading a mastermind on the trial that brought me back to life, that never actually happened. Because it's much like what Florence Scovel Shinn speaks of in The Game of Life and How to Play It, which is where there was a woman with a fear of ladders, and she would never walk under a ladder, and it really made her change her route. And the fear of going under a ladder and what would happen was really overwhelming her to the point where she brought it to Florence, and Florence said, the next ladder that you encounter, you need to walk under it just to get over your fear. And sure enough, she went to the bank, needed to get some money out of her safety deposit box, went to go to it and couldn't get beyond a ladder, and it was so terrifying to her. She turned around and walked out. And as she was walking away from the bank without that which she needed because of the interference of this ladder on her route, she ended up turning around and saying, ladders will no longer control me. And so she walked back, prepared to face her fear. And when she got there, the ladder had been removed. She was able to get to her safety deposit box and get what she needed without having to actually go through the trial, simply because she was willing to, which is exactly what I was willing to do when my charge got stayed on September 21st from what would have been on this day 2 years ago. October 31st of 2022 was the day I was due to actually ask the questions I want answers to still, about the validity of the charge in the first place when laid and issued by a de facto government that claims jurisdiction over my person, when I claimed not to be the surety for my person. And I also asked what man or woman claimed harm had been done. For if there isn't one, there is no crime. No victim, no crime. Otherwise, you're fine. So, with that being said, let's actually start talking about bullying from a different vantage point. Let's talk about it from the cultural construction component of it. And now let's actually see the Cartman's drama triangle we get caught up in within High Rose Prism. Well, let's see that flip into the TED Talk that we all want to give. Not just for our minute of fame or 15 minutes of fame or whatever it is, but we actually start to see that our life is the masterpiece that we are crafting. We start to see that we are the ones that are living our lives, and we're the only ones that get to enjoy all aspects of it. So why not even out the wheel of life that really gauges our satisfaction over all areas of our life? Even it out. Why not put more energy into the things that are really draining other areas of your life that you're not able to enjoy as much because some of your energy needs to be distributed to another area simply because you haven't been tending to it, and therefore it's in trouble and you've got to support it while you're trying to move forward with other things. Why not just strengthen all of you? Get your wheel rounded out. And if you don't know the analogy that I'm speaking to, well, then join on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. and you'll actually experience what I'm on about. And I'll share the story of the trial that never happened, but what I learned in the lead up to it in the near 2 years going through it, where I challenged the certificate of Vex Identity Death AI certificate that was issued to me as a summons after footage was seen online that then an officer witnessed without autographing, in fact, and then delivered a summons for. Now, there's great significance in the lack of an affidavit of service being filled out, and we'll get into that another day. But for now, I simply want to say that I'm not perfect. And for a long time, I've been really skirting professionalism because I didn't want to be part of an ism. And then I wrote a whole course that unpacked isms, which are systems generally. And now I see that I need to create my own ism, which is what Laurelese is about. Laurelesism. Laurelesism. We'll figure it out. Laurelesism. Laurelesism. Oh my god, funny. But seriously, Laurelese is where we close our eyes to the legal fiction and the legalese used within the legal fiction by legal experts who have gained authority and ascension to their position by making an oath, vow, contract, binding pledge to a larger house led by one of the four inns of court. Through the bar association that governs access to all of them to protect them at the expense of any that would try to take them on. So any peon, any pawn trying to convert into a king to be sovereign in their own kingdom needs to be able to battle for that title and to be able to stand by the claim. And we can do so with our eyes closed if we learn how to actually use our intuition, where the third eye is able to see the truth and cut through the BS of belief systems that have kept us safely separate from one another, safely divided. Divide and conquer. What happens to a house divided onto itself? It falls. What happens to the right and left hemispheres when they are divided onto themselves? Well, hemisync is the answer, I think. And if that is the case, where we are able to actually use sound consciously and intentionally, then we can have tears in our eyes without actually crying. If we are willing to actually just be where we are, this is where the star of your life and mine are. We are alive in this moment, so I hope you have a good one and send love your way. Have a great day. See you Thursday at 8.